This episode of Knife Chats with Tobias is brought to you by Skip the Show's Volcano Club, where all the hep cats go to watch the show.
Okay, for lack of anything else, I'm going to be calling this Studio B. I'm trying a different location for a little while for where I'm going to be doing my filming, and I've got some temporary lighting set up and everything else, and I'm just testing to see, how from the table is. I can already see that I got to be very careful not to touch the table, otherwise things will wobble, and also how good the lighting is. So I'm going to show a couple different knives. All of these have shown up at one time or another on the channel, and I'm just going to run through it and see what the video looks like. I will post it just so that you guys can leave some comments also. So this is a 5-inch long white smooth bone ring lock with a nice little saber grind blade. Your typical ring lock here, so you pull that and release it. I've been working on getting this thing smooth at the top so it'll look a little better. My Boker 414 with the dogs on there. See that? I guess the glint off of the light isn't too bad. Here's the blade, and this one comes in probably at 3 1/4 inches long. I don't know how many times I've shown this knife. Yeah, 3 1/4 inches long. German Army knife. This is by CCM, not by Victorinox. Same basic knife. This is the one I carried while I was in the Army for a while. Always like to mention, yeah, it's an Army knife, but they were smart enough to put a corkscrew on there because, well, who in the Army doesn't want to be able to open a bottle of wine? In any case, that's my German Army knife. This one is definitely just so I can see how the different colors register. This is building blocks. This was by, this is out of the Swiss knife shop, I think. And it was an exclusive to them, and you see it looks like Lego building blocks. It's just a classic SD. I think this one is still available. I think it's been available for some time. I don't know how wobbly things are or not. Also, I don't know if the heat register is kicking in as much here or not. Obviously, my beaver tail by Great Eastern Cutlery. These were knives that just happened to be nearby, so I grabbed those to show. And let's see how well the edge shows on that. I tell you what, the fingerprint sure shows up. I would edit this part out normally, but I'm just leaving everything in. So this is going to be very much raw footage. And I do want to hear from you. I want to know how well this shows up on, that's really what I'm looking at. How well do these things show? Man, I tell you what, that's hard to get. Beaver tail. Oh, that's pretty good. There we go, beaver tail. So I'll need to work on getting the lighting just right, but once I figure that out, it'll work pretty good. Man, that is really clear. Don't know if the color of the wood is going to show up as well. Nickel silver bolster there. Nice half stop. How does black and white show up? That's pretty good. Probably need to do something in red too. This is the, notice the space vacuum, and so he's using a vacuum and space. You get the pun there, and there's the vacuum cleaner on the back. And this is again just a classic SD. This one here is the US. This is a Rambler. So Rambler is a really good fifth pocket knife, and it's highly underrated. This cap lifter works quite well. So does the little Phillips driver on the end there. Otherwise, it's like a classic SD. I think this one was, who's that? Blade HQ, I think. And then this is by Mercury. And I can't remember the number. Is it on here? You can see Mercury, Inox, Italy. Can't remember the number. I did film it before, but it's elk antler, so it looks pretty good. I think that's what they said it was, elk antler. There's the cap lifter. The action isn't the stiffest on these blades, but they do hold in place. And then the cool thing is you got a little fork on the end here, and then corkscrew and the well, sewing eye punch, or whatever you want to call it, sewing eye all. So it's kind of like a classic, I'm sorry, kind of like a Victorinox Spartan, but it has elk antler handles, and instead of a small blade, it has a fork. And let me get a red knife also and throw that into this mix, because I got a lot of red knives that I probably show, so try a few more. Okay, let's see how well this red Spartan shows up. It's got a William Tell there, 1291 and 1991, so what would that be? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 700th anniversary of William Tell, I guess. And get all those blades open. There, Victorinox, and what else we got here? Again, this is really just seeing how well the knives look under this lighting and stuff, and seeing how bad the vibration is off of the table, if I got to figure out some other way. But I'm also trying to find out how much room I have on the table, and how large of a knife I can show. So here's one I haven't shown yet. It's another one of those folding dirks, and this one's by a Covey River. I will be doing a review of this one. This one's an abalone. So there we go. That's what, 9 inches or so. Guess I could have just held up a ruler to see how far, but yeah, 9.5 inches. So a 9.5 inch knife shows up pretty well. So, and that'll work out pretty well, I guess. Another knife I haven't shown yet, but will show soon, is one of the gunboats. I picked up the Pearl gunboat. This will be showing up this year. This is a Rough Rider. You notice how that looks. So that'll be something coming this year. Got another Dragonfly. This one's in H1. I bought this one because, well, it's a hawkbill for one thing, and it's serrated. I wanted to find how well it worked and everything. And I also want to talk about why H1 is a super steel. So that'll be something I'll be talking about in the near future too, because, well, everyone will tell you right away that H1 is not the world's greatest steel in the world. But why would anyone consider it a super steel? Well, I'll get around to that in my video when I talk about it. Let's get you up there too. So what I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't know. I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 knives so far. I'll break it out with a couple other knives. I think it's RJ. Is it RJ who's doing the thing on Pukos? Probably not. I probably screwed that up. Anyway, here's my horsehead Puko. This is the mill version. This is the one that's 8 inches long, and you see it there, nice straight blade and everything. And then the women's version, or the female version, which is a little smaller, 6.5 or so inches long. Nice little knives though. The cool thing about them is the horse head. These are later ones. They're not as detailed as the first horsehead Pukos, but they're still horsehead Pukos. So if I can ever afford to get a better horsehead Puko, I will, but I won't be getting rid of these anytime soon either, because they're pretty cool. In any case, like I said, this is mainly just testing the lighting to see how well it shows up. I'll know better about how well the colors showed up and everything, but I am looking for input from everybody on if the lighting on this is acceptable and if the vibration on the table is acceptable. The reason I'm doing it is because, well, the current location I'm at, where I usually film, the furnace kicks on a lot, and that noise bothers me a lot, and everything else. Plus, it's a little cold down there, so I'm trying out Studio B to see how well that works, and it will also mean that it'll be a lot easier for me to shoot a video. But if the lighting is poor, or if the table shakes too much and stuff like that, then this is not the best way to do it either. So we'll see. Any case, please let me know what you think. If you think that if the quality is really shoddy or not, that's really what I'm after. How well things are looking, how well the background noise is, if there's not as much background noise, things of that nature. That's what I'm looking at. Also, yeah, that's about it. Anyway, I'll talk to you again soon, and in the meantime, as usual, I will try to have content up every Sunday and Wednesday. Talk to you again soon. Let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with the Pious. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.